Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Within a moment, the whole sky was overcast with dense clouds, and severe thundering was heard. There was glittering electric lighting and severe rainfall. Hare Krishna. So we will go. Before this, like I just want to give little background about what is happening. So very quickly, we are in the fourth canto, 10th chapter, where Dhruva's fight with Yakshas. Okay, so here till now, till 22nd sloka, what has been mentioned is like a Dhruva's marriage and descendants, like a Uttama, his brother being killed, and Dhruva went to Alkapuri to kill the Yakshas who killed his brother, and the fight was like a explained in detail. Now he almost killed like a many Yakshas, and the Yakshas flee. Okay, but after that, Yakshas creating like a some illusions, which is very fearful, and how that particular scene been created, and how sages are coming and offering prayers like a to protect Dhruva Maharaj. Okay, this is what we are going to see like from 23rd to 30th sloka. Yeah, the next one. Shobha Mataji, can you please recite?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I need to recite that sloka, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji, yeah.
Okay, Hare Krishna. One second. Vavrusho rudirau gharstrak bhuyavinmutra medasaha nipetur gaganat asya gabandhani agrato anahaga. Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Dandavat Pranam.
My dear faultless Vidura, in that rainfall there was blood, mucus, pus, stool, urine, and marrow falling heavily before Dhruva Maharaj, and there were trunks of bodies falling from the sky. So you just imagine a situation where full of the bodies are like a falling from the sky, and the surrounding place would be like a full of blood, mucus, pus, and stool, and urine, and marrow. Like, okay, that is how the rainfall is coming. So how it would be like, okay, it would be very frightening for however strong we may be. It would be very frightening. Like that is a situation Dhruva Maharaj is facing now. Yeah, Shuza Mataji, can you please recite this
Hare Krishna
sloka?
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Tata ke drishyata girir nipetu sarvato disham gata parigha nistrimsha musala sashma varshinaha. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, translation. Next, a great mountain was visible in the sky, and from all directions, hailstones fell, along with lances, clubs, swords, and blood guns, and great pieces of stone. So from the sky, like okay, great mountain is visible, and from all the direction, like a hailstones fell, along with lances, like a club, swords, very heavy metals and materials are like a coming in front of Dhruva Maharaj. Next, Vrishabhanu Mataji, can you please recite?
Yes,
Sloka?
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, in
Hare
Sanskrit, please.
Yeah, okay.
Ahayo shanini swasa vamantogniru sakshibihi abhyadhavan gajamataha siha vyagrascha yuthashaha. Hare Krishna. Pranam.
Yeah,
Prabhuji.
translation. Dhruva Maharaja also saw many big serpents with angry eyes, vomiting forth fire and coming to devour him, along with groups of mad elephants, lions, tigers. So he's seeing all the big serpents with angry eyes, and the fire is coming. Like okay, it is almost like about to kill him. Then along with group of mad elephants lions and tigers. That is what he's seeing. There's an illusion. Things are coming in front of Dhruva Maharaj. It's very frightening. So next sloka, I request Sharmila Mataji to recite.
Krishna. Samudra
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Samudra urmibir bhimaha plavayan sarvato bhuvam asasada maharadha kalpanta iva bhishanaha. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah, translation. Then, as if it were the time of the dissolution of the whole world, the fierce sea with foaming waves and great roaring sounds came forward before him. So that is how the whole sea, it is as good as the dissolution of the whole world. He is feeling of it, and these foaming waves and roaring sounds come forward in front of Dhruva Maharaj. Next sloka. Request Swati Mataji, can you please recite?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, can you scroll
Hare
up,
Krishna.
Prabhuji? Evam vidani anekani trasanani amanasinam stigmaghataya asuraya mayaya suraha. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you.
Translation. The demon yakshas are by nature very heinous, and by their demonic power of illusion, they can create many strange phenomena to frighten one who is less intelligent. Okay, that is how they are making this illusion in front of Dhruva Maharaj, but Dhruva Maharaj is not less intelligent because he is a devotee of the Lord, and he is very powerful, and he is not getting frightened, though the whole scenery is will create to anyone and everyone the frightening situation. I request Anita Mataji to recite the sloka.
Hare Krishna. Dhruve prayuktam asuraistammayam atidustaram nishamya tasya munayah shammashamsham ashamshan samagataha.
Translation. When the great sages heard that Dhruva Maharaj was overpowered by the illusionary mystic tricks of the demons, they immediately assembled to offer him auspicious encouragement. So that is the beauty of the devotee. So the devotee, when he is in danger situation, other devotees are like a sages by the mercy of the Lord, they will appear to protect and to rescue the devotee who is in a distressed state. So that is how all the sages appeared to protect Dhruva Maharaj and to offer him auspicious encouragement. The last sloka for today as well as for this 10th chapter, I request Kripamai Mataji to recite.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Uttannapada Bhagavan Swada Saranga Danava Deva Kishuntva Avanatati Haro Vipaskan Yan Namadin Abhidaya Nisamya Chata Loko Nijasa Tattadi Dustara Anga Mrityum. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, the translation goes like this. All the sages said, Dear Dhruva, O son of King Uttanapada, may the Supreme Personality of Godhead known as Sarangadanva, who relieves the distress of his devotees, kill all your threatening enemies. The holy name of the Lord is as powerful as the Lord himself. Simply by chanting and hearing the holy name of the Lord, many men can be fully protected from fierce death without difficulty. Thus, a devotee is saved. Purport by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. The great rishis approached Dhruva Maharaj at a time when his mind was very perplexed due to the feats exhibited by the yakshas. Godhead, by his inspiration only, the sages came to encourage Dhruva Maharaja and assure him that there was no danger because he was a soul fully surrendered to the Supreme Lord. By the grace of the Lord, if a devotee at the time of death can simply chant his holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, simply by chanting this Maha Mantra, he immediately surpasses the great ocean of the material sky and enters the spiritual sky. He never has to come back for repetition of birth and death. Simply by chanting the holy name of the Lord, one can surpass the ocean of death. So, Dhruva Maharaja was certainly able to surpass the illusory magical feats of the yakshas, which for the time being disturbed his mind. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 4th canto 10th chapter of the Shrimad Bhagavatam entitled Dhruva Maharaj Fight with the Yakshas. Hare Krishna. So as we saw here, like okay, the situation is very frightening, but as Lord never he always protect his devotee. The similar way here also Lord is like a protecting his devotee Dhruva Maharaj by sending all these sages. Okay, the sages are saying, okay, by chanting the holy name of the Lord, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, you will be saved and you don't need to take this birth in this material world again. So that is how the sages are mentioning to Dhruva Maharaj. Hare Krishna. So let's go to the slide. So today, what we are going to see from this particular thing is how we have to be humble, how we should not get like a pride within ourselves, and what is the greatest fear of a devotee. Because we are chanting the holy name of the Lord, but unknowingly, like we may commit so many anarthas, we have so many anarthas. So what has to be the greatest fear of a devotee? Like what devotee has to observe himself? Okay, and we will see like some examples of the past times, like from Chaitanya Charitamrita and Shrimad Bhagavatam as well. Shrimad Bhagavatam, like from those past times, how we can help ourselves like to become more humble. Okay, that is what we will see. So as we all seen multiple times, okay, the Shrimad Bhagavatam is nothing but the transcendental representation of like the transcendental body of the Supreme Lord. So from Canto 1 to 12, okay, it is representing various bodies of transcendental parts of the body. Okay, so 1 and 2 represents like the lotus feet of the Lord, which is talking about the Sarga and Visarga, like and the portion also. The 3rd and 4th canto representing thighs of the Lord, which is talking about like okay, the creation by the Lord, subsequent creation by the Brahma and Manus and pastimes of Lord Varaha. So this is what like we are in the 4th canto where we are discussing about the thighs of the Lord. Like okay, then the 5th canto representing like the navel of the Lord, which is talking about the geography of the universe, like a sthana. Description of like a Bhumandal and the structure of the universe. 6th canto represents like okay, the chest of the Lord, which is talking about Poshana, Lord's protection to the people who transgress like okay, the laws of Dharma and devotees, like Ajamala Charitra, like Indra and Chitraketu, pastimes, all those things will come in the 6th canto. The 7th and the 8th canto representing the arms of the Lord, which is talking about Yuti and the Manvantara. So auspicious and inauspicious moments being explained in 7th canto, 8th canto, like the dynasties of Manu, activities of the Lord during various Manvantras. So 9th canto representing like the throat of the Lord. It's talking about the Ishanukada topics related to the Lord's devotees are described, where like a sun and moon dynasty is being described. Then 10th canto representing like the lotus phase of the Lord, which is nothing but like the Krishna book, which is talking about the Ashraya, like a Lord's Krishna's pastime in Vrindavan, Mathura, and Dwaraka and Hastinapur. Okay, and Krishna's opulence has also been explained. The 11th canto representing like the forehead of the Lord, which is talking about the mukti or liberation. Then 12th canto represent like the head of the Lord, which is talking about the Nirodha, like four kinds of universal annihilation, liberation, like of Parikshit and activities of Markandeya, all those been explained. So the layered conversation, Lord Krishna talking to Brahma, from Brahma to Narada, then Narada speaking to Vyasadeva, like and asking to him to expand in the banks of Saraswati, and Vyasadeva speaking to Sukadeva Goswami, and Sukadeva Goswami speaking to Parikshit Maharaj and rishis, like with the Suta Goswami on the banks of Ganges. Okay, then Suta Goswami speaking to sages, like headed by Shaunaka rishis on the bank of like a Gomati river, Namisharneya, and the Vaishampayana, like a narrator to King Janamejaya. So this some of the layered conversations of like a Shrimad Bhagavatam, and why we need to hear like okay, Srinvadam Sava Kada Krishna Punya Sravana Kirtanaga Hridayantasto hi Abadrani Vidnodi Sugur Sadam. So when we are hearing like attentively, it cleanses like the desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear, and it will by just giving the oral reception like Syam vai Suryamanayam Krishne Paramapurushe Bhaktir Utpatyade Pumshaha Soka Moha Bhayapakaha. So by just giving the oral reception, the feeling for loving devotion service will establish, and which will extinguish the fire of lamentation, illusion, and fearfulness. Okay. Then the other thing is also like a very seriously, if we hear, Krishna will manifest in our hearts like within a very short span of time. So why we need to hear like all these pastimes being exhibited by the Lord to attract the conditioned souls like towards the Lord. Okay, it reminds us to remember Krishna, and we have to appreciate, we have to get attracted and aspired to attain the lotus feet of the Lord. We need to realize the Krishna consciousness by using our real eyes, like via the spiritual master. These are the various energies of the Lord, like how the whole plenary expansions been done. Okay, always good to refer this particular thing. So that is the reason I kept this slide. So as we saw, the Swayambhu Manu dynasty, like okay, that is what been explained from third canto, 21st chapter till fifth canto, like a 15th chapter. Okay, now we are in the Uttanapada section where Dhruva Maharaj and Prithu and Bharishat and the Prachetas, like all those things have been explained. Okay, so Manu has three daughters, like a Devahuti, Akuti, and Prasuti, and two sons, like a who's Uttanapada and Priyavarta. In Uttanapada's son only, like okay, Dhruva Maharaj. So that is what we are seeing in the fourth canto, 10th chapter. So as we saw here, like this chapter has like a 30 slokas. Dhruva's fight with the Yakshas been explained here. So in detail, if you see, the whole chapter summary is Dhruva has like a two wives with Brahmi. He has like a Kalpa and Vatsara as their sons, and with Dhruva with Ila, like okay, one daughter, and they have like a son Utkala. So Dhruva's brother, who is Uttama, like was killed by Yaksha while hunting. So Suruchi also, like her mother also, his mother also, like dies in a forest fire. So then Dhruva got angry, like though Uttama created like a lot of Uttama or Suruchi like created a lot of problem to Dhruva, but still like he had that attachment, and he wanted to kill all these Yakshas. Like okay, he goes to Alakapuri. And while he was blowing the conch shell, so at the time, like the wives of Yakshas were very frightened, okay, by hearing those sound. And Dhruva shot 3 arrows at a time. Yakshas prize Dhruva, and they shoot 6 arrows in retaliation. Okay, there were total 130,000 Yakshas were there, but all were facing like a Dhruva alone facing all these 130,000. So remember, like a 130,000 into 6 arrows, like it would be almost 780,000 arrows are coming towards like a Dhruva, but Dhruva is like okay able to kill all the yakshas, like, okay, by with his power and Narayanastra. Okay, then knowledge is describing like how Dhruva defeating and killing yakshas, like that has been already covered. And from the 18th sloka to 19, okay, battlefield filled with cut bodily limbs and ornaments, like injured yakshas were fleeing away. And Dhruva's suspected that they might be like they can attack anytime. So that is what like he's very cautious about it. And then the dust storm and rain with heavily sounds from clouds like start coming. And as we seen in this 7 or 8 slokas, like, okay, the mystic mountain in the sky, the blood and first like a urine, all those things are like a dropping from the sky. All the bodies are like a flying from the sky, and it is deadly animals like a tiger, elephant, mad elephants. All those things were like a coming towards the Dhruva and the fierce ocean. Like, okay, at the time, the sages arrive and offer prayers for Dhruva's protection. Like that is what we have seen in this one. So now we have to see like, okay, from all these situation, so this material world, uh, it is very, very fearful of like many things. First of all, if you are not performing the devotional service, that is the greatest fear. And if you are doing the devotional service, but not still attached to the body, then it would be like even more problematic. So let's see like how fear arises. The fear arises when we connect ourselves with the bodily identity. Okay, the body perishes and the soul never perishes, correct? That is what been explained by Krishna in the 2nd chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. So he explained about like the Sankhya philosophy, where 30 characteristics of the soul been explained. So when we identify ourselves with the body, which is illusionary part of the energy, which is not existing, like it will deteriorate. Our body dies and like okay, take birth again and again, correct? When we associate with that body, like we develop fear, as we have like a fear of losing it. Okay, so then how we can get away from this fear? We have to surrender one who provides fearlessness. Okay, so who provides fearlessness? That is only Krishna, because Hari, who steals the miseries from our heart and our sufferings also he steals. That is the reason like he is called as Hari. And that Krishna, we have to surrender to that Krishna, because he steals away all our miseries and sufferings, and he will provide the fearlessness. Okay, so fear is not to be to being like a humble due to the attachment to material world. Okay, so fear arises when we are not becoming humble and when we attach to this material world. But the opposite of fear, like okay, are we have to understand, we have to be humble, we have to be showing the humility. So humility means like always thinking as I am the subordinate to Krishna, and he is the supreme, he is the supreme, and I am the infinitest. Compared to Krishna. Okay, so that has to be remembered by us in all the time. Okay, we have to, humility means like we have to exhibit the humility, or we have to become humble. That humble, nothing but okay, external humbleness. No, external humbleness required, but more than that, we have to realize ourselves. Okay, nothing we can do without the will of the Krishna. Everything Krishna drives, and I am always eternal servant. I am always subordinate to Krishna. That has to be our mood. Okay, so the opposite of humility is like a pride. Pride means okay, I am associated with the body. I do everything. I need to get the appreciation. I need to get like all the glorification. Okay, I am not subordinate to anyone. I am myself like the master. I can control anything and everything. That is what the pride that will kill us. Okay, so let us see in the whole of we all know like okay, Brahma being the first creator, he was meditating for 100 celestial years. Okay, then he is going to Garbhodakashai Vishnu, like to meet Garbhodakashai Vishnu to receive the instruction. Then Lord is like okay, giving the instructions to Brahma how to create like the 14 planetary system, how to create like a Manu, how to create like a the Prajapatis, like okay, how to create the whole universe, all those things. Okay, at the time, Brahma from the 3.9.1 to 24, he initially appreciating the qualities of the Lord. He is glorifying the Lord. How Lord is like a so powerful, so merciful. He is giving the service to Brahma. So Brahma seeks the blessings and empowerment like to create the whole world as suggested by the Lord. Okay. Then he seeks, please ensure that I don't get pride. At the 23rd and 24th sloka, he is just requesting, Lord, you are giving me the instruction, you are empowering me, you are giving the blessings like to create all these things. But please ensure that by doing the service, I should not get a pride moment. Okay. I should not think that, okay, I am the creator. I should not forget you. And I should not get overwhelmed with this pride. So that is what, even before doing the service, Brahma first thanking the Lord for giving the service. Then he is asking, okay, please ensure that I don't grant the pride. Pride should not overwhelm in me. So please, like, okay, help me to do that particular thing. So we also often face this particular situation in our life, correct? We given so many services like in our satsang, correct? So at the time, initially, we may be seeking the blessings. We may be seeking like, okay, the empowerment from the Lord or Guru or like, okay, to Srila Prabhupada or our spiritual master. Okay, we will seek the blessings from them. Okay. Please give me, I don't know how to do the service. You only need to empower me with your blessings only, like I can do the service. So initially we will request all those blessings and like, okay, we will seek the blessings and the empowerment to do the service. But once we do the service, okay, with their mercy and blessings, after that, we will be like a little complacent, and we will think, okay, I can do this service. It is very easy. Like I have done it multiple times. Be it a cooking seva or like a being in taking the giving the lectures to like the big crowd. So we often like, okay, initially we may seek the blessing, but once we do like a couple of times that service, then we may forget to do seek that blessing again. We will think, okay, I can do it. I have done it like a multiple times. This is a very small crowd. I can do that. Like okay, that is what like the pride is overwhelming like in us. That should not be there. Okay, we need to remember and remind always that all the services are sanctioned and approved and allocated by Lord Krishna to us mercifully. We need to be thankful to do to get that service and thankfully like to execute the service by the will of the Lord. So all the credit also, all the appreciation, all the glorification also has to go to Krishna only. Like that has to be very, very important. We have to remember that always. Like, okay, so we should not be overwhelmed with that particular service. Okay, so as I mentioned, Brahma received the instruction from Garbhoda Shai Vishnu and requesting like him to not to get overwhelmed with the pride. But the same Brahma been put into the situation in the Brahma Vimohan Leela where he steals like all the gopas and the cows. Then Krishna with his mystic power, like he creates, he changed himself like okay into multiple gopas and the cows, and like okay he exhibited the Brahma Vimohan Leela. Then Brahma is coming and requesting the forgiveness like from the Lord. That is what like a often after providing the service, like we may be put into that situation where we tend to forget Krishna or like a guru or the acharyas, and we will be put into that situation and we will seek the blessing from the Lord to come back or overcome that situation. So that has to be remembered all the time. Like so we have to remind all the time we are getting the service because Lord Krishna is empowering us. It is nimitta matram. So we are just like being chosen by the Lord to perform that service. So we have to be humble enough like to do that service, and we have to exhibit, and we have to pass all that glorification and like okay the prize whatsoever thing we are getting. to the Lord, go back to the Lord. It has to go back to the Lord. Like, so that is very, very important thing to understand. Like, so if we do that particular thing, then we can become humble always, and we can exhibit the devotion service in a lot better manner. Hare Krishna. So the fear of the devotee, as I mentioned, like initially we will seek all these, but once we complete the service, like we don't seek the empowerment or blessings or like prayers or support. We feel pride as we can do it like without the blessing. So mood of seeking blessings or empowerment like it goes away. If we not alert, we will forget as we received this empowerment from Lord only, or Guru or Vaishnavas, and pride will override us. Okay, so only Brahma asking in his next prayer in the initial itself, us not to become proud or not to become a victim of false pride. So let us worry us. We may be victim of false prestige. So even the first creator like a Brahma can think himself, okay, I can get the pride and I can be overwhelmed with the pride, then what to speak of us, correct? Like, okay, so we have to develop that particular thing, okay, always be in a humble state, and let us not become overwhelmed with the pride, okay? So when Lord is, when Brahma is asking this, and Lord says, Vishnu says to Brahma, "Us be rooted in my instruction," okay? And Vedas and scriptures, like for Shrimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, like so that is what you have to be rooted. So whatever instructions given by me, please execute it, so that like you will remain humble and you will not become proud. Okay, that is what we can learn from this particular pastime. Okay, so then next pastime, let us see, like we all know in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is a Vasudeva, the leper, okay, being embraced by Mahaprabhu. So that this Vasudeva leper, okay, he was a Brahmana, and he was hearing that, okay, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is coming to like a Kurma Brahmin's house. Okay, at the time he wanted to see, because his body is like a full of pus, and like, okay, the blood is oozing out like from his body. He often sometimes like, okay, see insects like, okay, in his body. So he will try to take that insect and put it in the body, because he is thinking, okay, this blood at least like let it be useful to that particular insect. Okay, so because otherwise, like I am not useful to anyone, so at least like let me be helpful to that particular insect. So that is what the great characteristics of like, okay, this Vasudeva, the Brahmin. So he came to like that Kurma Brahman's house, but at that time the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu already left from that particular place. So by hearing that, like Vasudeva was a little worried. Okay, I am so unfortunate. I could not able to meet Mahaprabhu, but still he is hoping that like one or the other day I will meet Mahaprabhu. So the devotees heart, like, okay, obviously Lord will come to know what devotee thinks, correct? So then immediately Chaitanya Mahaprabhu like changes his trip to that South India trip. He made some arrangements. He came back to that Kurma Brahmin's house like to meet Vasudeva the leper. Okay. So at that time, Vasudeva leper was like, okay, very perplexed, and he was like, okay, not ready to go and touch Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because he was thinking that, okay, I don't want to contaminate Mahaprabhu. So he is a little afraid of like going towards or near to him. So at that time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu coming and embrace Vasudeva leper, correct? So if you see in this picture, Vasudeva leper, like the earlier, before Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji's embracement, okay, he was having all the leprosy in his body, but after being touched by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he becomes so beautiful. He turned to be a beautiful and handsome man, okay? So then immediately, uh, Vasudeva leper, like, hey, the Brahmana, he's asking Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu, I am so unfortunate, so fortunate to being embraced by you. But this would be the talk of the town for some time, because See, like a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu given the mercy to that Vasudeva leper, like he was so fortunate. The Vasudeva leper was so fortunate to get the mercy from the Lord. So then, like the pride will overwhelm me because I was earlier like not associated with the body, but now I got the beautiful body like by your transcendental touch, and let me not get attached to this beautiful body. Okay, so please ensure that pride others would like appreciate me, they will praise me, they will glorify me. Please let that pride not be overwhelming me. So please bless me. So that is what he is requesting, that pride should not overcome me. So what I have to do? Okay, this touch, how it was feeling is, us we all know Putana, she was having a demoniac body, but by the touch of Krishna, her body becomes like a so fragrant. Similarly, by the touch of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Vasudeva leper's body turned into like a beautiful body. Lord, you changed your South India plan for me, okay, given me like this a special mercy, embracement, and giving this beautiful body. I will be proud of this, and this whole city will talk about this. Okay, asking how to become humble and not to become proud, and Lord asked him to chant, be in the humble state. So you be chanting all the time and be in the humble state. By doing that, you will not become overwhelmed with the proud. Okay, the learning lesson for glorification, or whatever appreciation we are, that is very important, correct? And pray to Krishna as this pride should not overcome us. Okay, that also need to be remembered. And then I will do the service as guided by the Lord and the spiritual master, and not become proud at all. Okay, that has to be remembered. We should be humble and not become greedy for the credits, for the service done, credit of the service done. We should not be so much greedy for the credits. And how to detect that pride? It is not easy because lust, greed, anger, or all of them, lust, greed, anger, all of them are like a grossly visible. We can see, okay, I am become lust. Okay, if I am looking for something which is not helping me to grow in Krishna consciousness, that is what like a lust, correct? And when the lust is fulfilled, it becomes greed. And when the lust is unfulfilled, it becomes angry. All these lust, greed, anger, it is grossly visible. We can see, okay, I am angry, I am lusty, I am the greedy. But and we can easily detect it, correct? But the pride is envy, and pride is subtle element. We cannot detect it. It is not easy to detect the pride and envy, though the whole world can detect oh, that guy is so proud, and he is so envy, full of envy. So the whole world can detect, but us ourselves may not be able to detect, because it is very subtle. Okay, so how we can understand is Daksha Prajapati. Okay, while he arranges the yajna, Daksha yajna, at that time, uh, the Shiva and Brahma didn't get up. Okay, Shiva was a fully in the transcendental chanting of the holy name, and Brahma being the father of Daksha Prajapati, he didn't get up as well. The whole assembly was get up, and this becomes Daksha got really irritated how a Shiva can disrespect me. So then he's commenting about a Shiva and his followers. You all are without any home, and you just roam around the places, and you don't have any sense, and you don't have any knowledge, etc., etc. He's talking all these bad things, and unwantedly he's commenting Shiva and his followers, and he's saying to the whole assembly, I am not talking this with a proud moment. Okay, I am just saying whatever, I'm educating everyone what the Shiva and his followers. So we all know Shiva, Daksha was so proud, and he was having envy towards Shiva, because he was not accepting, okay, how Shiva becomes so absorbful, okay, and he has these many followers, and he is able to connect with Krishna, like, okay, so that due to that enviness, like, he's commenting about Shiva and his followers, correct? So this is how, like, that how Daksha Prajapati could not able to think about himself like as a proud man, but the whole assembly knows, okay, Daksha was speaking out of proud. Okay, so that is how we ourselves like cannot detect whether we are having like a envy or proud, but the whole world can know. Okay, we are becoming that guy become like a proud or envy. So we have to be mindful of this particular thing. Okay, so we have to not to become proud. Okay, so pray to Krishna as this pride not to overwhelm us. Okay, this has to be very important prayer, and we have to. Okay, the pride, how that how we are becoming proud by getting the service. So if we are not doing the service, we will not become proud. No, we have to do the service in a humble state, so that whatever benefit we are getting, like we have to pass it to the Lord. So that has to be our mood and motive. Okay, and we should be humble and not become greedy at all for the credits for the service done. Okay, so we should never expect any kind of appreciation or glorification from anyone for whatsoever the service we have done. Often, like we fail in this particular thing, because we will say, "Oh, I cooked the great boha to Lord and devotees, but they are not at all appreciating me." Or I have given a very nice lecture. I have created like a very wonderful PPT, but no one appreciating me. Like that kind of moment should not come to us. Like that kind of expectation should not be there at all. So how to detect that pride? It is not easy, as we have seen like the lust, greed, anger are like a grossly visible, and we are able to detect as they are like a gross anathas. But envy and pride are like a very subtle anathas and tough to detect it. The person who possesses pride and envy may not be able to detect, but the whole world able to detect. Okay, how much? So how to detect that pride and like how to detect proud and like how to get away from this is we have to analyze ourselves. How much I am speaking about myself, I am caring about myself in terms of quality and in terms of quantity, compared to how much I am speaking about other service. This will show how much we are proud of our services. And one more thing is like a glorification also. When we glorify other devotees' services, when we appreciate other devotees' services, how well we are appreciating, not for name's sake, but from the heart. Okay, that shows how much humble we are, how much less proud we are. This is what like we have to learn from all these pastime. So the key points is like, okay, fear is not to being humble due to attachment to the material world. Okay, humility means like we have to be humble, or we have to exhibit the humility quality. So always like a thing, I am the subordinate to Lord Krishna, and he is the supreme, and he is the supreme, and I am the infinitesimal. Okay. Then all services are sanctioned and approved by the Lord and allocated by Krishna to us mercifully. So credit of that service has to go to Krishna. Like, hey, let us not worry or fear. Like, okay, let us worry or fear, like as we may fall as a victim to this false prestige, and that has to be like a good characteristics of the devotee. Okay, so from Lord Brahma, like how he is saying, let me be humble and let me not become like a proud. Then Lord says, okay, you become rooted with my instruction, like whatever means said in the Shrimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. The similar manner when Vasudeva leper like been cured by, embraced by like a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how he don't want to become proud, or like okay, he don't want to he want to become humble. So at that time Lord says, okay, chant the holy name of the Lord, as all the sages also mentioning to Dhruva Maharaj, when he's seeing the frightening moment, okay, they say, okay, chant the holy name of the Lord, you will be protected. Correct? The similar way. So always like a pray to Krishna, as this pride should not overwhelm us. And a learning lesson for us is like to be cautious of not become proud, always be in the humble state. Okay, we should be in the humble state and not become greedy for the credits for the service done. Whatever credits we have done, like we should not be greedy for to get those credit. So we always need to exhibit like a Trunada Pichunisena, Sir Tarora Pisakishna, Amanina Manadena, Kirtania Sadagari. So we have to do the Kirtania Sadagari, like then that is what like been explained in the next this also. We have to do like Kirtaniya Sadagari, Satatam Kirtayantomam, like Ananyas Chintayantomam, Yogyunja Satatam, so Satatam Bhava, like Nirantara Namalavo, Nirantara Krishna Nama. So always like associate with the Lord and be humble and let us not become proud. So we have to exhibit or execute this like in our daily life so that our devotion becomes better and we can be like okay exhibit our love towards Lord and his devotees. So Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thanks for giving me the opportunity. So if I state anything which is beneficial for all of you, all the glories has to go to the Guru and Acharyas. If I say anything like wrongly, please forgive me. It is due to my ignorance. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Very nice, Prabhu. All the things are, I think, very much beneficial for us. So definitely. Any question regarding today's session? Oh, is it that clear? Haribol. If no question, we can end the class here.
Very clear, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Actually, Prabhu's slides are so clear. So that is why we can understand Prabhu, because there is no question. Definitely everyone understood it well.
Can we have these slides in our group, Mataji? Can ask Prabhuji to send it, post it?
Yeah, sure, Mataji. Yeah, I'll share it with Mataji.
Yeah. You can share with Narani Mataji. She can send it in the group.
Yeah,
sure,
sure.
Mataji.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
So Hare Krishna, everyone. We'll end the class, Prabhu.
Yeah, sure, Mataji. Thanks.
Pancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Ananta Koti Vaishnavindi ki jai. Ki jai. Shrimad Bhagavatam.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.